gals, we're back, and now we're going to do the old rocker shafts here. And there's a lot of people that says you have to do them this way, you got to do them that way. This is the way I'm going to do them. This is the way I'm going to show them to do. So we're going to grab our trusty dusty little guy there, and we're just going to run him till he clicks. We're going to try to keep it centered. Oops, no much, that's okay. We're trying to keep that centered on that as gooder as we can. Again, step one, make sure you put in your push rods, okay? I probably should have said that. So hopefully you guys know that. If you don't, put in your push rods. So we're gonna run all these down. We already did the other side, so I'm just trying to and there's a method to this madness. There's a reason why we're doing it like this. You'll see. You will definitely see. Now, these torque at 22 foot-pounds. That's not much, right? What we're doing is we're trying to make sure our valves are closed. And you'll be able to see them move. See that move? You can do them however you want. However, that right there should have both of them closed there. I don't know, I might have to torque these a little bit more. We're going to run through them with a, you know, our hand once. Make sure these are tightened down just enough to make the valves open and close, all right? Give me a few seconds, minutes. Yeah. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. I did run them down, these rocker shaft bolts. I did run them down until they gave me pretty decent resistance. And I didn't want to do them with that because you just can't fill it with it. Now, I put the old crank bolt back in it, and I just want you to see this. This is how we're going to set it. See how that valve's pushing down? Maybe you could if I was moving quicker, but all right, he's on his way back up. And right there, both these springs are as high as they're going to go. These valves are closed, okay? That's where we want to adjust these, okay? And you do the same for every cylinder. You see how that's pressed down? That one isn't. This one's actually up too. But what I'm going to do is do it for each individual cylinder like that. And then we're going to check and make sure we don't have any rocker play. And that's how we're going to adjust these. Right, wrong, or indifferent. So I'm going to go through and adjust this side one cylinder at a time. And then I'm going to see how good that worked versus doing it how they say on the internet, like you can do 1 and 3 and 5 and 7, whatever. They say you can do a couple at a time. You know, why rush it? You know, and not only that, this makes sure that I got all of them. If I'm doing one cylinder at a time, I have a lot more faith that I took my time on this cylinder rather than this cylinder, that cylinder all at the same time, or what have you. Okay, so I'm going to adjust these down to 22, rotate it around till both of these are up on their highest point, and go right down the line. All right. But what I did was I took it all the way up to its highest point, and then I think it slowly started coming down just a little. So that tells me it's all the way off of the cam lobe. And I made sure this one didn't depress at all. So if you're not sure, back it up, do it again. Better be safe than sorry, right? All right, give me a few minutes, tighten these down. I'll let you know how this went, how I think it went, and then we'll check the rocker shaft play. All right, just give me a few minutes. All right, guys and gals, I want to show you, I ran through all these. This takes no time at all, just so you know, especially with these rocker shafts. It makes it so much better, easier. But I just want to show you guys. Now let's say I'm going to adjust this valve. I've ran it down to where it feels pretty darn snug, okay? I want to see both valves move. This tells me, okay, we got the first one moving, right? First one's coming back up. Now the second one's going down. Now, as soon as he goes all the way to the top here, right there, that is when you tighten this to 22 foot-pound. And that's how I done every single cylinder. You can do it however you would like, but 22 foot-pounds is what I found is the ticket for tightening these. That's the torque on it. These are 8 millimeters, so they're not going to require a lot of torque. So we got a lot done in a very short time. I actually did both sides, and it took me 10 minutes maybe. And you know, I mean, you can do this and then the motor is pretty much ready to drop in. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, you're going to have on some of these, see how that has just a smidge bit of play? That's normal though, okay? Because that's all the way up, okay? They're meant to have just a smidge. Now if you got one with a whole bunch, you better worry. Make sure you got them right in the center of your valve, okay? See how that is? Make sure you got that tip right there on the edge, or right there in the center of the valve, okay? Before you go torculating on them. Make sure your push rod's in the cup. And furthermore, inspect those to make sure they don't have any real bad, you know, not so good or wearage going on. That does happen on these, so make sure you're checking that, because these push rods actually rotate. A lot of people don't know that, but they actually rotate. So make sure you're inspecting all that good stuff. And now what I'm going to do, what you can do, is throw on them valve covers, and she's starting to look like an engine. On the next, what we're going to do is install our oil pump. Now since this is a mostly stock engine and just a cam upgrade, there's no reason to throw in a high volume oil pump. What did he say? That's right, no reason at all to throw in a high volume oil pump. That is a waste of money on a stock engine, especially if you're running a stock pan. You're going to throw all your oil to the top of the engine. Don't waste your money doing that. You don't need to, okay? Believe me, these cars, these trucks, they ran just fine with the stock pump, didn't they? Of course they did. That's why people's getting them and yanking them and throwing them in everything, right? So you don't really need all that oil pressure. They carry great oil pressure down the road anyway. So at least I hope they do. If they don't, then you got other issues. Anyway, so that'll wrap this one up. I hope this helps you guys. I did the digging so you didn't have to. I even got a little show and tell, okay? So thanks for watching, and tune in, because we're going to get to see this thing all dressed out, and then we're probably going to forget about it, move on to something else and something shiny. And anyway, you know, we'll be buying parts, you know, stacking them, getting ready for this, slowly getting back to this, and working on that. I mean, just, oh, and we got another one, you know, the four-wheeler. That's another story. I'll tell you guys. It's not my proudest moment, but Lambert, you know that story already. Kind of has something to do with that car. Anyway, so thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate every one of you, and keep watching. It's going to get a lot better, and we'll see you guys next time here on Right Turn Garage TV. Y'all have a great weekend.